What's up, everybody? We at South by Southwest, and this is the line for T.I.'s performance. That's 6th Street. Let's see, where's the end of that line? Long line for South by Southwest for T.I. I'm at Maggie Mays on 6th Street in Austin, Texas. This line for matter of fact, they don't even let anybody get some food. Hold on, let me show you more. That's my wife. T.I. will be here momentarily soon.
We're here to celebrate the gathering spot. They've got some great news and some great company with them. We're going to go ahead and show the video to give you guys a little bit more insight as to what the gathering spot is.
We've always had this belief that in a world that's increasingly digital, that it's important to make sure that you're actually in contact with people. That the experiences that we share over a meal, or while working together, or while attending an event, are ultimately the things that change and give color to our lives. The Gathering Spot stands for that type of connectivity. We want to make sure that people are able to celebrate professionally, absolutely who they are, but also socially. And so we curate experiences and create space for people of all walks of life to be a community.
The Gathering Spot is possibility,
Vibrant, innovative, alive, inspirational,
ever-changing,
beautiful,
dynamic,
empowering,
synergy. It's a cultural place.
Let me show you more.
Entrepreneurial. It's a vibe, actually.
I'm gonna be right back, babe. What? Your phone? Hold on, y'all. Is it? Oh, you gave it to me? How you do that? Okay, she got her phone back. Okay, let me show you how to do that. I'm gonna be right back.
We're going to a city that we know well. It's a city that's been a second home and in many ways helped raise us after going to both undergrad and law school. It has the same great information that we found in Atlanta, and I couldn't be more excited to expand our community. The Gathering Spot is on its way to DC.
Gathering spot.
Let's give a huge round of applause for the founder and CEO of the Gathering Spot, Ryan Wilson, and T.I.
Oh my God! I told y'all Facebook. I told you niggas. I told y'all niggas. All y'all niggas. All them niggas.
So Ryan, I first want to congratulate you on a great 2 years. You've done a great job. We're super excited to be here with you. For the folks that don't know about the Gathering Spot, tell us a little bit about how you came up with the idea and what it is.
So like a lot of businesses, I started the Gathering Spot out of frustration. I was working out of a lot of coffee shops and restaurants, and I always used to get that tap on my shoulder, like, "Hey, dude, get up." And over time, I don't know what that means. But over time, I came up with my business partner who's here, TK. I hope you meet him. A workspace concept, and as we continue to talk about what we wanted the space to be, we added a restaurant, bar, and event space. More than space, though, the Gathering Spot is about a community. We have a little bit of everybody that's in the club, and my favorite part is watching connections between people that ordinarily would never meet one another, whether they be in corporate spaces, creative spaces, entrepreneurs. You'll see a little bit of everybody day in and day out, which is pretty cool.
So, Tiff, may I go ahead?
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell us about how you heard about the Gathering Spot and what intrigued you to be a part of this journey with them.
I mean, just being a part of the community, being within the community, man. You know what I'm saying? The circles kind of have a gravitational pull to there, just because of a lot of mutual acquaintances. Just spread.
I'm sorry, skip it. Sorry.
Like, it's a place where town halls happen. It's a place where meetings happen. It's a place where private events happen. Political panels and all kinds of other community discussions. So if you are of the community, you eventually end up there and get something or another.
Okay, so Atlanta has gotten, we've gotten some notice on being a growing tech scene and a tech hub, but Atlanta is really fueled by the music industry, and the culture of film and entertainment is explosive. Talk to me about why it's so important to cultivate the culture of Atlanta and how it influences the world.
Well, to me, what you just said, all of these things may be true about tech and about music, but as you moreover to say, I think it starts with the culture of Atlanta. Because the culture of Atlanta, that feeds or fans the flames of film, music, and tech. So, and I think for us, as maestros of the culture, if you will, it's about pushing it forward, creating opportunities to provide new and different, diverse experiences that connect to people and they can associate with certain parts of their lives, and you know what I'm saying, it becomes more important than just another business.
Yeah, I think one of the coolest parts about Atlanta is that, the music industry has been what people have known for forever, but the music industry connects to every single thing that's happening in the city. So, day in and day out, when you're living in Atlanta, you actually know people who are, in that space, but also working for some of the biggest brands in the world, are starting some of the coolest companies that you're going to find around. So, for us, we knew that going in, and that's why Atlanta had to
to the Academy Awards, and then also award-winning director Ava Duvernay now getting media and acclaim for being the first Black woman to work and direct a film with a budget of $100 million or more. So we are forcing the conversation about diversity and inclusion. How important is it to push that narrative and to support diversity within the startup culture, within entrepreneurship and business development?
It's essential, right? To build better companies, to have better movies, to do anything well, you have to embrace the way that the world is changing. So the cool thing about a lot of the movies that you said is that they have.
So we're going to open it up briefly to some questions and answers, but before we do that, I want to ask you both individually what you're most excited about for the future of the Gathering Spot.
I'm excited to get this show on the road. It was crazy to watch that video because we've been planning for so long to get this announced. And so I'm super, super excited to be able to show y'all the next clubs that we're building. They're amazing. Like we've taken everything that was special in Atlanta and are only going to bring it to new heights in every other city that we're opening in. So thank you. Come see us this fall in DC, and then hopefully we'll have some more announcements to make here in the future.
For me, it's just seeing the things that we've already envisioned and spoke about amongst ourselves privately, seeing it come into physical fruition.
I have a question for you also, Tick. Working with the city of Atlanta and now really being a voice and having been a voice with our mayoral office, how this year, the next 4 years, you see being different in the support and the development of Black entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs of color in Atlanta?
I mean, for me, it's about having a person who is a product of this community that we're revitalizing, a product of the educational system that we hope to strengthen more, that actually knows the need because they're native of the areas that are most affected by a lack of support from the government and so on and so forth. So to have somebody who actually have a first-hand knowledge of what needs to be done makes all of the conversations easier to have. You know what I'm saying? If you're in there trying to convince someone who has no idea of what the need is in a certain area to do something, then it's going to be a much more difficult conversation than someone who comes from the area, knows what it was like in its heyday, and knows the potential of it, knows the roots, knows, you know, the things that made the community great at its pinnacle. So having that conversation with somebody who already has that understanding makes that conversation a lot easier to have, which allows more things to be done on all levels. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's affordable housing, or jobs and opportunity, or education, or prison reform, whatever those topics of discussion are, that first-hand knowledge makes those conversations much easier to have. You know what I mean? Which is why, you know, I campaigned and voted for her, which is why I felt and still feel she is the best, most qualified person for the job, and why I still support her and stand beside her. And it's an honor.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Atlanta has a mayor named Keisha.
Yeah, my mayor's named Keisha. You know what I mean? And ain't nothing like it.
So that's good. We're gonna open up the floor to questions.
I have a question.
Question. Go ahead.
Do you think it's gonna expand to Africa?
So the question was, do you have any intent on expanding the gathering spot to Africa?
Yeah, one of the things I'm most excited about and proud of is that the gathering spot is inclusive, right? And I'll put it like this: I'm in South Africa next month.
Oh, in South Africa.
Definitely Cape Town. Joburg too, but Cape Town.
So the question was, is the gathering spot open for businesses, specifically to membership, or individuals to membership?
So the bulk of the members are individuals, right? You'll see our youngest member is 25 and runs a tech company, amazing, doing amazing work in Atlanta. Our oldest member is Ambassador Andrew Young. Full range of people that you'll see in and out of the club. And so it's absolutely for individuals. It will be for every city that we open.
So the question is, what do the celebrities in Atlanta plan on doing to invest in Black tech, also known as Afro tech, in Atlanta?
I mean, I think that answer differs depending upon the individual, you know what I'm saying? I have been invested in tech for over a decade and have yet to make a dime, you know what I'm saying? I have contributed financial and as well as sweat equity investments, you know what I'm saying, in the culture of it, you know what I'm saying, in the vision of Afrotech. So, you know, that's my answer, you know what I'm saying? And I done got my money trapped, so I'm in it now, you know what I'm saying? Right on.
Did he just say money trap?
Yes, he did.
Money trap.
All the states
So a gentleman at the state capitol of New York, state capitol of Texas, has asked Mr. Ryan Wilson what he can do to potentially expand his work here in the state of Texas.
I mean, having the opportunity to be at places like this, even this conversation, is super helpful, right? And then spreading the word about the gathering spot is not a co-working space, right? It's not just a place that you go. This is a real community, the connectivity piece of it really matters. So to the extent that we can share that message and movement, I couldn't ask you for anything more if we could just tell people about what we're trying to get accomplished here and let them know that, or have them help us to understand that if we were to come to their city, that it's something that they would also embrace.
And then I think another thing just to go with what he said is you have to look at other places like it, other comparative businesses of like what is it, WeWork, you know what I mean, like Soho House, or, you know what I'm saying, like, these types of places, they just, for lack of better terms, they don't suit the needs of today. You know what I'm saying? Not as well as we do. You know what I'm saying? You can still go and get a lot of the same purposes served, but it doesn't feel the same. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel like it was designed for you before you walked in there. You see what I'm saying? Before, I think the gathering spot is kind of like it is an amoeba, because it kind of lends itself to the needs of the member. Whereas other places, the member has to lend its needs to the place. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I think, that's the unique quality that the gathering spot has.
Okay. How can artists and tech meet in a more creative and financial great means so that they can work together? Artists and tech.
So the question is, how can artists and creators and founders of tech collide to find ways to be profitable and scale?
Come to the gathering spot. I mean, that's the short answer. The long answer is it's important to be in shared space, right? You can't get work done together when you don't know the people on the other side of the table. And so it's important to just make sure that you're intentional of being in spaces where the community that you're talking about actually exists and is supportive of one another.
Nice.
Yeah, so the question was, there is a wide range of membership. Is there an emphasis on mentorship from the older members to the younger members of the gathering spot?
Yeah, I mean, so we go to old country clubs, right? The demographic that's there, I mean, respectfully, it's an older crowd, right? They're networking horizontally. We believe that you've got to network horizontally, but also vertically in the gathering spot. So, yeah, absolutely. We encourage those that know something to share it. And if they have something, that a younger member could benefit from, we try to provide a platform for those sort of connections to also happen. It's 100% important.
Hey, you guys, you're here. I'm assuming you want to be here. You want to hear what these talented folks have to say. So if you could, please keep your personal conversations to a minimum so we could get some of these questions answered.
My question is, what advice would you guys give to up-and-coming creators?
The question is, what advice do these folks have on giving to up-and-coming creators?
Dream bigger and work hard. That's it. That's what it all boils down to.
Or like something of the sort, like creating bigger for everybody. So it's not multiple people competing for one prize. It's everybody competing together.
I don't understand the question.
Like, another group of creators, instead of competing for customers, if you will, how do we all work together, collaborate to obtain one goal?
We got to do different things that coincide with one another.
Work together.
Yeah, you gotta do. I mean, if everybody out here is selling water, we're naturally going to compete. You know what I'm saying? But if you see somebody selling water and you just say, okay, well, I'm gonna sell sandwiches instead. You know what I mean? We can go together and you know do the water, I'll do the sandwiches, and that someone else have some fruit. You know what I'm saying? Before you know it, you have your little farmer's market. You have to do things that coincide with one another and surround yourself with like-minded people that you can create synergy with.
Yeah.
In the back.
Yeah.
How have you guys both learned from failures you've had what you do professionally?
Question.
Dang, who is that?
How have they learned? How have they both learned from failures in their professional career?
I mean, for me, I think that the best experience is failure. I mean, the best teacher is failure, because you know exactly, you got to push yourself to your limit to find out, you know, what you don't know. If you knew everything, there would be no failure. But the fact that you failed, it shows you what you don't know. You know where to apply more efforts. You know what adjustments to make, and then you get further next time until you actually find the same thing that you need something else to adjust and you know make better. And that's how you become great. You know what I'm saying? If you never push the envelope or you never dream big enough to get to a place where you fail, well then you haven't reached the true benefit of your opportunities. You know what I'm saying? You gotta push it to the limit. You know what I mean? You ain't willing to fall. Yeah, you ain't willing to fly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think if you're starting a business, it's a part of the process, right? And for me, it's always been a framing thing. I have failed numerous times throughout this process, but I don't relate to those failures as negative moments. They just were things that happened that I had to figure out how to overcome. And if you continue to kind of reframe stuff in a more positive and helpful way, you don't experience. I mean, I don't hold on to them either. I mean, I get asked questions like this sometimes, and I honestly the answer is, or trying to access the exact moments, I move on.
I mean, if you turn all of your losses into lessons, when it's all said and done, no one sees a loser; they see a genius. You know what I'm saying? You know, learn so much, accumulating these lessons over time. You know what I mean?
So I think Black Panther has showcased the economic potential of the Black community. Outside of inclusion and diversity panels, how can you jumpstart that conversation without talking about money?
So the question framed the statement that Black Panther has showcased the
economic potential
of the Black community. So how do we have that conversation outside of panels without talking about money?
I mean, well, find better, cheaper ways to do doper shit. I mean, you know, Get Out was an example of that. You know, Get Out didn't cost a hell of a lot of money. You know, about all of us in this room could have put together enough money to do Get Out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there are ways. It has happened. You know what I'm saying? It's up to you to go home and think about it. You know what I'm saying? If that's what your passion leads you, that's the conundrum that your mind figures to find an answer to, you come back and tell us.
If you don't mind, can I ask a follow-up?
Go ahead.
It's extremely difficult to have a conversation about money when you're starting to try and start a company and you're a minority, you're Black, you're Hispanic, whatever it is. Everybody looks at the economic opportunity, and it's difficult to deliver when you're trying to come up with a product that's going to make $1 million or $1 billion or $1 trillion. What I want to know is how do you get the leg up on the conversation when it's more about the impact and less about the economics?
I mean, we can complicate this as much as possible, right? But everything is going to start with a vision. You know what I mean? A vision, a dream. Then it's going to be, what does it take to make this dream, you know, a reality? right? And then how are you going to accumulate these resources? Do you have them yourself? Do you have the source of the other investors? Like that's it. And how long will it take for the investors to get their money back? It's simple as that. We can complicate it as much as you want, but that's the bottom line right there.
I don't think the two things are mutually exclusive, right? So, and I'm going to, at the risk of embarrassment, point out one of my favorite entrepreneurs in Atlanta right now is Jasmine Crow. She's got an amazing company, right? But there's a business model there and real impact that's happening at the same time. Look at the company Gooder; it's fantastic. So I think that's a dichotomy that doesn't need to exist, and we often talk about them as being opposites when it really doesn't have to be. You can do good work and also do well.
Sure. But see, I'm sorry, not to interrupt, but listen, it can't be about monetizing immediately. If that's why you in it, it's going to be a lot more difficult to get that money. You know what I mean? It has to be about impacting the culture, pushing it forward, offering something that can provide a service to ultimately change the world. If you do that, then the bread gonna be there. You know what I'm saying?
I don't wake up any morning thinking about the next check, right? For me,
I can't say that.
for me, this is about if we can execute, right? I know that the business will be successful and will grow. So it's a part. I mean, it's part of what my job is about. But when I open my eyes in the morning, I'm thinking about how do we get to the next location? How do we make sure more people can experience what we're doing? How do we do that well? If we can continue to do that well, then the business works. And if the business works, then the business works, right? And I think it follows.
I got a question.
We have time for 2 more questions.
Hold on. Let's be loud.
I think everyone's really proud of your success. Can you comment on some of the philanthropic things that you guys plan to do with all the success? Especially when it comes down to disparities in healthcare, when it comes to folks of color or folks
Yeah, so I appreciate this question because it's not something that I get to talk about openly enough. We have a school that's right down the street from us, and what we specialize in corporate functions during our day. I mean, the biggest brands in the world, Coca-Cola, Home Depot, Google, Uber, those are our clients. They produce, and we're required to bring in a ton of food for them. The neighborhood that's adjacent to us is one of the areas in Atlanta that has the most need. And so what we do, because of the amount of ordering that we bring into the gathering spot every day, is feed that school and the students there dinner every single day of the week. I don't talk about it. This is the first time, this is the first time I've ever said anything about it publicly. So that's why earlier I think it's possible to do both. But so kind of healthcare. Nutrition, and we learned quickly that if students are hungry, they can't learn. And we found a way to be able to participate going forward. That's why we do this every day, right? I mean, if a community is going to take care of itself, I mean, yes, absolutely the members, but we see ourselves as being a part of the Atlanta community and the community that we're going to in DC. We've got to look for opportunities to continue to be able to get back. So that's always a part of what gathering.
I mean, and also indirectly, just as importantly, providing a place to do town halls, to support the right candidates, get out voter registrations, and you know what I mean. It's a bit of a home base for politics of this generation. You know what I mean? And I think that is what will, indirectly get to the point where you can actually affect the healthcare, the policies of the city.
Last question.
So, T.I., ideally, where do you guys see the gathering spot?
We're going to keep building these things. And so you can expect to see clubs across the country, so that no matter where you travel or where you're planning to move,
you'll have a home base there. We're not going to stop until we make sure that the community has a place to go in most major markets, or maybe even international.
Woo! I like that! We're going to give them a round of applause again. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you coming here and announcing this monumental feat. Everyone, join us later. We're going to be having one of the biggest parties that happens tonight in Austin, a party featuring Tokyo Jets, Trey the Truth, and T.I. All right. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you too. Yo, Facebook, did you see that? Yo, you should see your face right now. Miss, what was your name again? Huh? What's your media outlet? What's your media outlet?
Hey, we on Facebook Live. It's Liddy. It's Liddy. I don't know where you from. I don't know where you from.
Shout out to
Shout out to Facebook Live. Shout out to Facebook Live. We lit right now. I don't know what's going on. Say what's up to the people, man.
What's up, man? Oh, you joined me.
Yeah, we good.
I joined you? What? I joined you. He on my live. Baby, he on my live. Yo, that's crazy. He's on my live.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, OneTribeMag.com. Hi, guys.
What mag?
One Tribe Mag.
One Tribe Mag.
Magazine.
That's a magazine?
Yeah.
Y'all with a magazine?
Yeah.
Man, you didn't say that. See what I'm saying? South by Southwest, man. Wow. That's cool. One, how do you say it? You don't have a card with you? Or what's the handle?
Yeah, you have a bracelet.
Oh, cool. What in the world? One TribeMag.com. Thank you. I appreciate y'all, man. I told her I play violin. She plays violin too.
Yes,
Yeah.
Hey guys.
So, thank you so much. I'll make sure you get y'all on there. And...
No, put on your wristband. Put on your wristband.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I appreciate you. Awesome. God bless y'all. Yo, this was a tight moment for real.
Please make your way out.
Yo, Black Power, man. We all coming up. T.I. he talking about, I don't think about money every day. T.I. was like, I'm sorry, man, I can't do that. That was my favorite part. That was my favorite part.
We will find you and ask you to leave.
Oh, am I performing? Huh? Where we gotta go? Is that this? We gotta have this wristband to stay? What is black? You got one more for my wife? Y'all got one more? Awesome. No. Even to sit down? Are you sure it's just not?